In the earlier episode, I had explained the importance of action research. Next, why does everyone not do action research, and last was the limitation of action research. I have already explained that action research refers to a process, and if it is a process, then there must be step. Now, in this part 1, I am going to explain the different steps to be followed in conducting action research. The first step is identifying the problem, second is plan action, third is collect the data, next is analyze the data, and next is share the finding, and the last one is review and reflect. Now, I am going to explain you the first one, that is identifying the problem. This is very important. All teachers in day to day teaching, they must have felt at some point of time some problem. Maybe when they are teaching, they might have come across that they are not able to explain the concept, or majority of the students do not understand the concept. So, if students do not understand, then the teacher should try to find out the different strategy to teach the concepts. So, there are problems, and different sources of the problems can be the existing data within the school. That means, in the school we have the records of achievement of the students. It can be analyzed, and therefore, one can find out the different problems. Mostly in Hindi, sometime the teacher feels that the students make lot of mistake in differentiating between small e and badi e. Therefore, that the existing data within the school can be one of the potent source. Another is the classroom and school observations, that when the teacher teaches in the class, he might observe some of the problems there, that some of the students may not be paying attention. So, as a teacher, one should try to understand why is it the students do not pay attention, why is it students do not understand some of the concepts, why students do not take interest in all subjects to the same extent. Next can be the test results. In school, there are classroom tests, there are some monthly tests, teacher might be taking their own test maybe at the end of a chapter. So, whatever the results are, if the teacher analyzes them, then he can come across some of the problems. Next can be interviews, that the teacher can conduct some of the interviews, or can chat with the students, or can chat with their own colleagues who are teaching the same subjects in the other classes, and through that one can find out the problem. Next can be that one can videotape one's own lecture, and from the analysis of that recorded lecture, one can find out the problems. Next, that it must be a felt need, that many a times teacher himself feels that this is not going in the right direction, and the teacher may like to find out a better way of dealing with that particular content or dealing with that particular concept or putting across to the students not through the same media, maybe through some other media. Another, the starting point might be as that I want to get better at my science teaching. Another can be I am not sure why my students do not engage in discussion. Another can be I have to implement the speaking and listening guidelines, but I am not sure what is the best way. Another can be how can we make staff meeting more productive. Another can be I have seen something working well in school X. I wonder if it would work for me also. Another can be is there anything we can do about our poor enrollment in mathematics? How can I promote more use of computers in humanities? These are some of the questions or the problems which one may take up for action research, but the following are not appropriate for action research, like is there any relationship between single parent families and attendance. Next, does caste affect performance in IIT entrance examination? Next, is there any relationship between teachers' teaching experience and students' understanding? Such questions are not worthy of action research. Now, as a researcher, if you are interested in conducting action research, then you have to identify the problem and then you have to select the problem. There are some thumb rules which will help you in selecting a problem. So, one is that keep the problem manageable, keep the focus small. Sometime in enthusiasm one may take up a problem which is not feasible or one may not be able to manage it. So, instead of taking a complex one, take the simpler one. Another, it should be interesting to you as a teacher, because if you take interest, then you can work hard, you can read different books, you can discuss it with anyone, and if you are not interested, then probably you may not be able to go extra mile, which you can do otherwise. It must be workable. Some of the problem may be such that as a researcher or teacher researcher, you may not be able to carry them out. So, it has to be workable. Then it is not to disrupt the normal routine. Normally, the college, the school routine should continue, and therefore, within that you should be able to carry out the action research. So, the next is the teacher should be competent to carry the action research, because many a times it is possible that the teacher may not be very confident in conducting action research. There might be different reasons. One of the reason is that the teacher might not have read about action research, or he might not have conducting action research. So, therefore, the help can be taken, and by way of taking the help, the teacher can start understanding and his competency may improve. Next is the teacher should have time. Many a times that teacher is too tight with one's own curriculum, that he may be finding it difficult to complete it within the stipulated time. So, sometime teacher feels that from where will I get the time in conducting the action research. My personal experience is that you need not to have extra time, you can do the action research even during your teaching. Only the thing you have to decide is that what change you should make when you are teaching that particular subject to the students. Next is the required facilities should be available in the school. Sometime the facilities such as the flexibility in the period timetable. So, if a teacher wants to have two periods consecutively, then the principal of the school should allow, or the teacher and the principal should find out the time during which the class can be taken. And last one is the teacher should have freedom to try his ideas. In some of the schools, it is felt that the principal does not give lot of freedom to the teachers to try out their own ideas, and it kills the innovative skills which the teachers have. Those principals who allow freedom to the teacher to try out any idea which they have in improving their classroom teaching, so that will be a good idea. Now, that comes to the end of this one. In the next one, I will explain that what the activities one has to undertake in conducting the action research.